Hey everybody, this is Mark from Overspray Painting, and I'm doing a tutorial today on how to strip paint from your metal and plastic miniatures. I'm doing this tutorial in response to a guy I had a conversation with yesterday in my local games workshop who wanted to strip all the paint off of his current army so that he could use the new Citadel paints. And I gave him some of my tools of the trade, some of the items that I've used over the years to try to strip the paint off my minis and get a good result. So I figured, why not go ahead and make a tutorial for everybody to see, because there's always somebody who wants to do it but hasn't really been given some good information on it. We're going to start with glass cleaner. It's a pretty harsh chemical. It's ammonia based. Tested the plastic miniatures with this. It will not harm your plastic miniatures, but it doesn't work too well in stripping the paint. It still left a lot of paint on the miniature, and it just didn't give me the result that I wanted. Next thing I'm going to go over is the alcohol. I use 91%. This is also a pretty harsh chemical. It can be used on metal or plastic. Some people have told me that it melted their plastic miniatures. I myself have never had a problem with that. It's never melted any of my plastic miniatures that I've used. I've even used it overnight. It didn't give me the result I wanted. It will take the paint off, but it didn't give me a nice clean finish when it was all said and done. It still left a lot of clumps of paint on the mini, especially in the cracks and crevices. So this is definitely something I wouldn't recommend personally. Next, I'm going to go over the acetone. This is 100% acetone or nail polish remover. This is also a pretty harsh chemical. This can only be used on metal miniatures. You do not want to use this on your plastics. It will melt your plastic. Alright, so be careful with that. This worked okay on the metal miniatures. The only problem I had with it, when you're cleaning, if you're trying to brush the paint off your metal miniatures, it will leave all types of clumps. It will just make a mess everywhere. Alright, and it does smell pretty bad. It's a pretty harsh chemical. If you do try to use this, I would recommend trying to peel the paint off of your metal miniature. It will loosen up the paint from the miniature, but it does still leave a few clumps in the cracks and crevices, and it's pretty hard to get out. Alright, so it does work for metal minis, but I wouldn't recommend this either. The last product I'm going to show you is the Castrol Super Clean here. It doesn't have Castrol in the bottle anymore. I guess they took it off for some reason, but it's still called Super Clean. You can pick this up from a local Walmart. That's where I get mine. It cost me a little bit over $6 for that big bottle, and it is biodegradable. It's a cleaner and degreaser. The good thing about it is it works on plastic and metal. It will not harm either one. In my opinion, this works the best. You can leave your minis in a container. I have a glass container here where I'm keeping one in. This is going to be for the demonstration of how well it works. You can leave it in overnight, which I recommend just dropping them in, leaving them overnight to allow the paint to loosen up. It's just like a cleaner. It'll take the paint off, as I'm going to show you in a bit. Also laid out some of the materials you're going to want to use. Your rubber gloves. You definitely want to wear your rubber gloves when you're using any type of chemical. Okay, you don't want to burn your skin or damage your skin with any type of chemical. Your brushes, toothbrush for your metal miniatures. A wire brush is always helpful, and this is just a vegetable brush. The bristles are hard. You're gonna want hard bristles. All right, and also containers. I use this one if I'm doing a bunch of miniatures or like a whole squad, or if I'm just doing one or two, then I'll drop them in this glass container. The good thing about the Super Clean is you can use them in either the plastic or the glass. Won't harm either. The acetone you only want to use in a glass container. The alcohol, same thing. I only recommend using it in a glass container. But the Super Clean, you can use either. Now I'm going to go ahead and give you a demonstration of how well the Super Clean works. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on over to the sink. Alright, here we are at the sink. Of course you want soapy water, nice warm soapy water in here. All right. Once you got this set up, got all your brushes. I got my brushes here, ready to go. You want to go ahead and pull your miniature out. This has been sitting in there overnight. As you can see, the Super Clean. It also, if you use super glue and you're using metal miniatures, it loosens them from the gloves. Most of the paint is already coming off. All right. Once you do that, you can pull it out. I like using this brush first, just to go over it. And I'll grab the other brush, dip it in a little bit of the Super Clean, and then scrub it real good, getting all the nooks and crannies there. Almost all the paint's gone. See if I can bring it a little closer so you can see. There we go. As you can see, most of the paint is gone. I actually finished a plastic miniature yesterday. I'll show you the results from that in a second. As you can see from the gloves, he had a blue paint on them. Majority of the paint is gone. I mean, this stuff works great, guys. I definitely recommend it. It doesn't harm them, and it will get majority of the paint off. Okay? You just can't beat that. Alright? Now I'm going to go ahead and show you a plastic miniature that I did yesterday. There we go. He's pretty clean. Also, the one thing I will say is if they're primed in black, they will leave a little bit of black stain on them. But he was actually colored blue and black. Got most of the paint off. And you're pretty much looking at a brand new mini there, ready to be primed and repainted. So, if you guys have any questions, or if you guys have any recommendations on tips that you've used to clean, paint off your minis, don't be afraid to leave a comment. Alright, right down there, as you can see, leave a comment and let me know what you think, or give some of your tips. Alright, see you later, guys.